to any ski area in the country, like our own Bromley Mountain in Vermont, especially on a weekday, and you'll find a surprising number of skiers in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s cruising down the slopes. There are so many of us senior skiers that the once generous senior discounts on lift tickets, even to the point of letting seniors ski free, are now severely curtailed. Most of the work of downhill skiing is done by gravity, which allows the human body to travel relatively effortlessly at an average speed of 20 miles per hour. The whole point of skiing is to slow down on this low-friction surface by turning the edges of the skis into the snow. Seniors are experienced skiers who've become quite efficient at making the right moves. For us, skiing is not very aerobic and relatively easy on the body, believe it or not.
How many years have I been skiing? Probably 20.
30?
Skiing for about 30 years.
So I'll have to say 32 years.
38 years?
23 years.
Probably since I was 7 or 8 years old.
With all that mileage under our belts, we have each developed a particular style that's very recognizable.
Great run. Great football.
Here I come, yours truly. And now presenting the most recognizable skiing style of all, even without the hat, my Fred Astaire on skis, my husband. In 1993, Richard and I met here at the Avanti Lift in Vail, Colorado. He was skiing with his dear friend Tom Bonwall, who is no longer with us. The year Tom died, he skied a total of 65 days. Unbelievable. We remember him with this plaque that we posted on Boulevard, and we stop and say hi to him every day we ski. Most of us learned how to ski as adults. It was not without pain.
I did my ACL, which had to be replaced.
Yeah.
And I did my MCL, which is, it kind of repairs itself. So I have a brace on both knees, but that doesn't stop me from skiing.
Can't even remember what it was called anymore.
I've injured my thumb.
I really haven't injured anything permanently. I just have a little arthritis in my knee.
That's
My ACL.
true. What's your
I've injured my Achilles tendon. I've broken my left ankle.
Oh my God, she's still alive.
I've had a concussion. And I got hit by the snowboarder across my back.
I broke my leg in 4 places. I dislocated my shoulder, my arm. I hurt my back. I broke a finger.
Actually, knock on wood, I haven't injured anything. My Achilles tendon was a little bit torn once, and they told me not to ski on that. You know, and so I spent the weekend skiing on one ski using the other leg. That was at Whiteface Mountain long ago.
I injured my Achilles tendon in my right.
And it healed and you don't have any
It took about a month and a half before I could walk right. But
My right knee on the chairlift, getting on it.
Here are some stats on ski injuries. The first time that I looked at this, I missed the bar on head injuries because I guess I'm extremely resistant to wearing a helmet. It's not as if we aren't warned about the dangers of skiing. Trails are rated according to the difficulty, and some of the names seem to imply bodily harm. There are other dangers as well, and there are safety warnings everywhere. Unfazed, we persevere. Every year, Richard and I make a trip out west, where the champagne powder is far superior to the ice, rocks, and fast grass of New England skiing. There is also a lot more terrain. One run down Vail Mountain is like 3 at Bromley.
We're here at Beaver Creek, and it's the first day there's light. We'll be able to see the ski slopes after a week being here.
Centennial lift going up over to the Beaver Creek Club, and then to Strawberry Park.
Of course, with all that terrain, battalions of groomers roam the mountain. Bromley only has 3, but they do a good job. And here it is, the best of the best. Wide open slopes, perfect corduroy, skiing into the sunlight. Even though you're at 10,000, 11,000 feet, it's the view that takes your breath away. Age does not dilute the drive and determination that got us to the slopes in the first place.
When did you get here? Last night?
Last night, after 15 hours of grueling driving, 15 hours on the highway of life, streaming north.
To catch the corduroy, we get up early.
At 6:45 in the morning.
Richard gets dressed from the bottom up. First, he puts on his knee braces to protect and give him some extra support. Next, he puts on his padded Chinese underwear, which is basically out of print. It's so ancient. He found it at the Korean War.
Well, that's where I first saw them.
Next come the socks, which are very soft because they're made of lamb's wool.
It doesn't crinkle up and cause you pain in your boot.
Richard's ski pants are antiques that he dearly liked to replace. Richard, why are they out of style?
They're skinny, they have padded knees, they move with your body.
I have a lot more ski clothes than Richard. Today I'm going to wear this lighter weight purple job because it's not so cold out. The suit is about 18 years old, so it's not a fashion statement either, but it's a lot more color coordinated than Richard's outfits.
I start getting dressed differently. I put my socks on first. That's so I can put on this kind of insulated pantyhose with stirrups called hot chilies.
We keep our gear in this private locker room at Bromley, where the only way you can get a locker is to have someone die. The decor of the locker room is obviously not very high on the list of Bromley's priorities. I open our locker with care because it's like Fibber McGee's closet. It is so packed full of stuff. It's my job to unpack it.
And now for the hardest part of the day, getting the boots on.
This is the rest of my gear: the gloves, the goggles, the gaiter, the hand warmers, and a hat. Richard wears the sheepskin to keep his body warm, but his hat doesn't do much for his head.
On our clothes and getting out of here?
That's the hardest part of the day, right?
I think so.
Here comes my husband, ready for another day on the slopes.
Always something new to see. Early in the season, of course, there are the snow guns doing what nature hasn't done yet. We don't like to ski into them. An ice storm creates a crystalline beauty on the branches, but it also creates a lot of problems for the ski patrol, who work very hard to try and get the ice off the cables so they can get the #1 lift working again. A porcupine in a tree caused a lot of excitement on Blue Ribbon, except he didn't move much, so all we saw was his rear end, which wasn't very interesting.
Someone had fun yesterday building these. See, we got even one with skis.
Bromley was started in the 1930s by Fred Pabst of Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer.
Fred brought skiing, the sport of hardy Scandinavians, to the American family.
But and then when it's 3 generations skiing, that's really
It's
great.
fabulous when
That's
you have
really
3
nice.
generations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 5 years, our granddaughter Lexi Cobb visited us from Wisconsin all by herself. We put her in the Bromley Ski School where she really did learn how to ski. Her ski instructor still remembers her, and we caught up with him on the mountain.
Bill Desingue, I've been a ski instructor here at Bromley Mountain for about a dozen years, and I remember Lexi when she was a very young girl. It was after we had finished a particularly nice run. She had those big, bright eyes, and she looked up at me and she said, "That was great, let's do it again."
I think skiing is really good. It's a great day, it's just very cold out.
All these years of skiing have produced some wonderful friendships that go back a long, long way.
One of the cheering
told her the sins a young girl should know about the ways of college boys and how they come and go.
Bromley's senior skiers have organized themselves into a group called the Silver Griffins. A griffin, for your information, is a fantasy creature with the body of a lion and the wings of an eagle. During the week, a section of the lodge is reserved for us to hang out in. We're also good at partying. Here we are at the end of the season luncheon. What do we all have in common besides skiing? Professionally, we run the gamut. But in terms of character, we are disciplined, perseverant, and courageous. Above all, we're tough old birds who enjoy a lifetime of memories, yet still know how to seize the moment. Even so, Gary Roosma, our Silver Griffin president, seems quite concerned with our mortality.
Last year we bought a defibrillator for the first aid squad down here. Several years ago we brought one for up on the mountain, so now we have it covered both places. Thankfully we haven't had to use it. You heard about the young lady, Vanessa Redgray's daughter Natasha, who had a very, of course it turned out, fatal accident. On a bunny slope, taking a lesson, she fell and hit her head and eventually died. She wasn't wearing a helmet. And I know a lot of you, I see a lot of you out there without helmets. I'm only just saying, guys, it only takes one little fall at our age. Get a helmet.
The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, they can't take that away from me. The way your smile just beams, the way you sing off key, the way you haunt my dreams. Whoa, no, they can't take that away from me. We may never, never meet again on the bumpy road to love. Still I always, always keep the memory on. The way you hold your knife, the way we dance till 3, the way you changed my life.